Welcome, travelers of the digital realm, to a place where history and fantasy collide. Today, we are diving into one of the most sophisticated tales from the legendary 1001 Nights. It is a story of ancient engineering, royal ambition, and a love that literally reaches the clouds. We're talking about the Ebony Horse. Imagine, centuries before the first airplane, a world where a mechanical marvel could whisk you across the globe. But as our hero soon learns, power without knowledge is a dangerous game. Before we reveal the secrets of the Ebony Horse, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We're on a mission to bring these timeless legends to a modern audience, and we want you with us for every chapter. Ready? Then let's turn back the clock to the golden sands of ancient Persia. The story begins in the vibrant city of Shiraz. It was the Persian New Year, Nowruz, a time of emerald gardens and golden sunlight. The king of Shiraz, a man who loved brilliance above all else, sat on his throne as the empire's greatest inventors competed for his favor. Three sages approached. The first, with a bow, presented a golden peacock. With a click of a gear, it sang a melody so perfect it could soothe a crying babe. The second presented a trumpet player made of brass. If an enemy army dared to step within 10 miles of the city walls, the statue would blow a blast so loud the very earth would shake. But then came the third sage, a man with eyes like polished coal and a hunched back. He led a horse made of solid ebonovina, ebony. It didn't move. It didn't sing. The court laughed. "Is this a toy for a child?" they mocked. But the sage smiled a thin, sharp smile. "This horse," he whispered, "does not walk the earth. It commands the sky." Prince Kamar al-Akmar, the king's only son, was as brave as he was impatient. He didn't wait for the sage to explain the mechanics. He leaped into the saddle, feeling the cool, hard wood beneath him. He saw a small, golden peg behind the horse's right ear. He turned it. Whir! The internal clockwork roared to life. In a flash of motion that blurred the palace into a streak of colors, the horse ascended. The prince's breath was caught in his throat as the air grew thin and cold. He was higher than any eagle had ever flown. He looked down and saw the great silk road looking like a tiny thread on a rug. But as night fell, the thrill turned to terror. He reached for the peg to go back, but turning it only made the horse go faster. He was a prisoner of his own curiosity, hurtling through the starlit sky with no way down. It was only after hours of frantic searching that he found a second hidden peg behind the left ear. With a gentle turn, the mechanical beast began to glide, descending toward a city of white marble towers, the kingdom of Sana'a. The horse landed silently on the highest balcony of the royal palace. There, the prince found Princess Shams al-Nahar. Their meeting wasn't just a coincidence. It was destiny. For days, they spoke in shadows, sharing stories of their distant lands. The prince realized that all the gold in Shiraz wasn't worth a single smile from this princess. "Come with me," he pleaded. "My father's kingdom is a paradise, and you shall be its crown jewel." With a mix of fear and excitement, she climbed onto the ebony back. They rose together, two shadows crossing the moon, arriving back in Shiraz by dawn. The prince, wanting to prove his love was noble, hid the princess in a royal garden while he went to tell his father. But the sage, who had been thrown in the dungeon by the king for stealing the prince, had just been released. He was consumed by bitterness. He tracked the horse to the garden. Using his dark knowledge, he tricked the princess, telling her the prince had sent for her. As soon as she mounted, he jumped on behind her and turned the peg. The prince arrived just in time to see his love and his horse disappearing into the horizon. The sage flew her to the kingdom of Rum, hoping to sell her to the highest bidder or keep her for himself. The king of Rum was a harsh man. He threw the sage into a lightless cell and took the princess for his own. Heartbroken and desperate, the princess pretended to lose her mind. She tore at her silk robes and spoke to the walls, hoping that if she appeared mad, the king would not marry her. Meanwhile, Prince Kamar al-Akmar was no longer a spoiled royal. He had traveled the world on foot, dressed as a beggar, then a merchant, and finally a physician. He learned the languages of 10 nations until he heard of the Mad Princess of Rum. He approached the King of Rum, claiming he could cure any ailment of the spirit. But, the prince warned, the madness is not in her blood. It is a lingering spell from the Ebony Horse she arrived on. I must perform a grand fumigation to draw the demons out. The king, greedy to have his bride sane, agreed. He brought the princess and the horse to the center of the palace courtyard. The prince lit braziers filled with rare resins and sulfur. A thick, fragrant smoke filled the square, blinding the guards and the king. In the heart of the mist, the prince threw off his physician's robes. "Shams, now!" he cried. She recognized his voice instantly. They vaulted onto the Ibanovina back. The gears groaned, the wings of the machine caught the wind, and as the smoke cleared, the people of Rum saw only a black speck against the sun. They were gone. They returned to Shiraz, not as a reckless boy and a captured girl, but as a king and queen who had earned their throne through trial and sacrifice. The Ebony Horse was never ridden again. The king had it dismantled, fearing its power was too great for mortal men. But the legend lives on. It asks us, is technology a gift or a curse? The Ebony Horse gave the prince the world, but it almost cost him everything he loved. What do you think? Was the king right to destroy the horse, or should he have kept it to explore the stars? I want to hear your theories in the comments. If you stayed with us until the very end, you are a true legend. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Every share helps our channel grow and allows us to produce even longer, more detailed stories like this one.